We're going to utilize Dark Night of the Soul magic with making money magic for the spiritual squad. We're going to try to do it under 10 minutes. All right. Got some notes. As you navigate the intricate labyrinth of life, see challenges not as insurmountable walls, but as the stepping stones that lead to the greatest chapters of your journey. Consider every setback a crucible in which your character is refined, every obstacle raw material sculpted by the hands of time into a testament of your endurance. Imagine your life as a... Well, we'll stop there. Let me interject. The dark night of your soul, when you're doing the poking around, it's not self-sabotage that you're uncovering. It can be, but we'll reframe that and we'll say life skills that you have acquired along the path. You guys ever seen Dragon Ball Z? Do the fusion dance, you touch fingers with the homie, you merge into one entity. You are more strong, more powerful because of it. That's what we're doing when we acknowledge the darkness. When we go into the darkness and we acknowledge the unconscious habits, we are merging with them. We are doing the fusion dance. We now have the conscious mind the conscious, acute, focused mind to integrate with the power, the raw power that is the subconscious, that is the emotion, and we can now guide and direct as we see fit. That's the power. That's how we make more money. Why is this important? This is extraordinarily important because everyone in the spiritual realm wants to do really beautiful, wonderful, life-changing things with the planet. We want renewable resources. We want to build pyramids on ley lines. We want orgone generators. We want research into botanical cures for everything. All this takes money, but this video really is for 1 or 2% of the population. Even in the spiritual community, 1 or 2% of the spiritual community, because there's 2 types of manifestation in this realm, more or less. Now, hear me out. You have your spiritual type person who says abundance comes to me naturally, and they really have to do no work to get the things that they want, right? But what's happening is they're relying on the manifestation powers of others to do it. And so we want to be this into the leader, into the trailblazer. That's the category that we're in. We're the actual entrepreneurs. The ones who are creating affluence in and of ourselves so that we can give to others. Not because we're good people or better people or because we want to be whatever, but because that's just who we are. We have visions in our minds of grandeur. We want big things to be created. We want to grow frankincense forests. We want to reforest the Sahara Desert. We want to do massive projects, and we can't really rely on others. We have to do that for ourselves because that's how we're wired. When Johnny says, the universe provides, and I've been able to just bounce around from place to place off the grace of the universe, when in reality, it's because they were staying on the homie's couch, and the other homie bought them food, and strangers are nice enough to help them when they're in need, but those resources come from somewhere. This video is for the entrepreneur, the business person who wants those resources to come from their own volition, directed as they please, directed as they want. And we have to do that with sort of acknowledging the dark side, acknowledging our shadow aspects so that we are not taking 2 steps forward and 2 steps back, because that's what happens when you don't integrate the dark side. When you don't integrate the dark side, what happens is we are a child and bad things happen, and we learn skills to deal with those bad things. Those skills bring us back to comfort. Remember this phrase: we are wired for comfort, not for happiness. Right? Those skills we acquired as children lead us towards comfort, lead us towards safety. Now we still have those skills. The only problem is we acquired those skills when we were not conscious of them. Now they're part of ourselves. They're a part of our software deep in the system, and we don't know how to access them or how to manipulate them until we acknowledge them. That's why we have to sort of surrender to it. That's why we have to acknowledge it. That's why we can't play the love and light thing all the time and just say 10 things we're grateful for and everything's all better. Because until you surrender to your anger, surrender to your melancholy, surrender to your tendency towards isolation and receding into yourself, until we surrender to that and acknowledge that, we can't do the fusion dance to become it. But once you do that fusion dance, it's like the elephant and the rider. That if you guys study psychology, you know that idea of the elephant and the rider. The rider is controlling the elephant. The rider is conscious. The elephant is subconscious. All the power comes from the subconscious. That's where your energy comes from. That's where the emotion comes from. However, the rider directs that energy. Without the direction of the conscious mind, your subconscious mind is like a hurricane. It just flows over whatever. It can pass through downtown. It can pass through the middle of a desert. It can create rain and waves that water plants and bring life to an area, or that hurricane can flood an area and kill a bunch of people. Who knows? It's the flip of the dice. But when we integrate, again, now we can control that hurricane. Now we can send that weather system to somewhere that really needs it. Now we can back off that weather system on somewhere where it's being destructive. Right? The power of receding into your mind that we learned as a child. Say you're in a lot of chaos and you have to find peace. You have to find the center of the hurricane where it's peace and quiet and safe. That's a superpower. That's what J.R. Tolkien used when he wrote Lord of the Rings. He went inside and created an infinite world with multiple races, with multiple languages, with past, present, future knowledge and lore. All these things were created in his mind because of that superpower of receding into the psyche. It's a superpower. It's not a self-sabotage. It's comfort. It's why we eat candy. It's why we drink beer. It's why we drink coffee like it's going out of style. It's why we do all these things that destroy our mind, body, and soul, because it brings us towards comfort and safety. It's an evolutionary thing. It's an evolutionary thing because in the past we didn't have the pleasure of being happy. It was survive. There's a huge winter storm coming. Am I going to be comfortable or am I going to freeze to death tonight? Happiness was like, oh, dope. We've got extra food. Nice. We can party. We have time to party. Can we party? Can we party? We have time to party. Nice. Now we're going to have fun. Now we're going to marry and make. That's been the majority of human history. It's really only in the past few hundred years of our 100,000 years or so of evolution where humanity can pursue happiness. Otherwise, it was comfort and survival. But our minds are still catching up. Our souls are still catching up. So we have to be mindful of that. That the decisions we make, are you going towards comfort or are you going towards happiness? Because happiness involves taking risks. But risks lead us into the unknown, and the unknown is dangerous. The unknown is where Johnny went to last week, and he hasn't returned. Johnny went into that valley where we heard those weird noises. We didn't know what they were. He hasn't been back. Children, don't go into that cave, please. Johnny hasn't been back. That's the unknown. That's dangerous. Do not go there. That's a risk. Unnecessary risk. Stop, halt. Come back to the camp. Come back to the fire. It's comfort. It's safe here. But we're not in that anymore. We can use our knowledge of self and knowledge of the external world to take calculated risks to make more money, to expand our horizons, to have the courage to acknowledge our darknesses and to acknowledge our anger and to acknowledge our melancholy and to acknowledge our tendency to procrastinate. It's all comfort mechanisms, and they're all superpowers. They're all skills that you've accumulated over your life. They're all skills that you've accumulated over your life, but you got to learn how to use them. You got to learn how to do your fusion dance, baby. Touch tips and morph into the new you. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Hey, if you made it this far in the video, we can do more. Let me know if you liked it. Leave a comment. Leave a comment if you've been able to overcome this, or 2 cool tips and tricks that you do to use this, or leave a comment to just say hi and help me feed the algorithm boost. The algorithm beast needs to be fed. Help me feed him or her. Help me feed it. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. I'll see you in the next video, okay? Bye.